Top 10 Most Bizarre Murder Cases That Still Remain Unsolved. The mystery that refuses to die. Some murders are straightforward: a motive, a suspect, and an arrest. But then there are those cases that seem plucked straight out of a twisted crime novel, murders so strange, so mysterious, that decades later they still haunt the collective memory. These aren't just crimes, they are cold shadows stretching across time. Number 10. The Hinterkaifeck Murders, Death on a Haunted Farm. In 1922, on a remote Bavarian farmstead, 6 members of the Gruber family, including a toddler, were brutally murdered with a mattock. Days before the killings, Andreas Gruber reported hearing footsteps in the attic, even though no one else lived there. After the murders, neighbors noticed smoke rising from the chimney, suggesting the killer stayed in the house, cooked meals, and cared for the cattle before vanishing. No suspect was ever charged. Lesson: evil doesn't always strike and flee, sometimes it lingers, feeding off the very life it just destroyed. Number 9. The Isdal Woman, the Spy Who Died Twice. In 1970, a woman's badly burned body was discovered in Norway's Ice Valley. Her belongings were stripped of labels, and she carried multiple passports under different names. Witnesses claimed she spoke several languages and met with mysterious men in hotels. Authorities suspected espionage, but her identity and killer remain unknown. Some say she wasn't just murdered, she was erased. Lesson: some truths are so dangerous, they are buried with the bodies that carried them. Number 8. The Boy in the Box, America's Unknown Child. In 1957, a young boy's naked, battered body was found in a cardboard box in Philadelphia. Despite thousands of leads, his identity remains a mystery to this day. He was clean, well-fed, and someone had clearly cared for him, but his life ended in violence and abandonment. In 2022, new DNA evidence finally gave him a name: Joseph Augustus Zarelli, but the killer's identity is still a secret. Lesson: every life matters, no matter how small. And every injustice leaves a wound on the world until it's healed. Number 7. The Circleville Letters, a town held hostage in the late 1970s. Residents of Circleville, Ohio, began receiving anonymous, threatening letters exposing alleged affairs, corruption, and scandals. The writer seemed to know everyone's secrets. And when one recipient's husband died in a suspicious crash, many believed the letter writer was a killer. One suspect was arrested, but the letters continued while he was in prison. The sender was never confirmed. Lesson: words can kill just as surely as weapons. And the most dangerous enemies are the ones you cannot see. Number 6. The Texarkana Moonlight Murders, the Phantom Killer. In 1946, couples parked in secluded lovers' lanes in Texarkana were attacked by a masked man dubbed the Phantom Killer. Some victims were shot, others bludgeoned. Panic gripped the city, people locked their doors and armed themselves. Despite multiple suspects, no one was convicted, and the killer vanished as suddenly as he appeared. Lesson: fear spreads faster than bullets, and once a phantom enters a community, it's hard to erase. Number 5. The Villisca Axe Murders, 8 Souls in the Dark. In 1912, the Moore family and 2 overnight guests were bludgeoned to death with an axe in Villisca, Iowa. The killer covered mirrors and windows, as if hiding from his own reflection. Blood dripped down walls, yet no neighbors heard a thing. Several suspects were tried, but all were acquitted. Lesson: some crimes leave a stain not just on the walls, but on the soul of a town. Number 4. The Hall Mills Murders, Love, Lies, and Silence. In 1922 New Jersey, a pastor and a choir singer were found shot and staged under a tree, their love letters scattered around them. The pastor's wife and her brothers were suspected, but powerful social influence protected them. The case became a media circus, but the truth was buried under politics and privilege. Lesson: justice bends under the weight of influence, and the poor rarely get away with what the powerful do in plain sight. Number 3. The Doodler, Art and Death. In 1970s San Francisco, a serial killer preyed on gay men, sketching them before killing them. At least 14 murders were linked to the Doodler. But survivors refused to testify for fear of being outed in a time of heavy stigma. Police believe they know the killer, but without cooperation, justice has been frozen for decades. Lesson: silence protects no one but the predator. Number 2. The Colonial Parkway Murders, Lovers in the Crosshairs. Between 1986 and 1989, young couples were found murdered along Virginia's scenic Colonial Parkway. Some were shot, others strangled, all found in or near their cars. The FBI suggested the killer may have been posing as law enforcement. More than 30 years later, families are still waiting for answers. Lesson: evil sometimes wears a badge, a smile, or a familiar face. Number 1. Jack the Ripper. The original Shadow. In 1888, London's East End was terrorized by a killer who butchered at least 5 women, all prostitutes. Letters sent to police taunted them, signed Jack the Ripper. Despite suspects ranging from doctors to royalty, no one was ever convicted. The name still chills the world. Lesson: some crimes never truly end, they echo through history, reminding us of the darkness that still walks among us. Like and follow for more. If you love this video, like, follow and subscribe for more amazing contents like this.